Hi, second grade. I'm Mrs. Hastings here with a math lesson for you. Yesterday, you looked at a little song to review, hopefully, just different ways to make numbers. I know in kindergarten, you guys worked with numbers from 0 to 20. And in first grade, you went even a little bit higher, all the way up to 120. And in second grade, we actually work with numbers all the way up to 1,200. But don't worry, we start off pretty basic and then we will get to bigger and bigger numbers throughout the year. I did want to review with you today just some of the different forms and the names of how we write numbers. So I'm going to flip my screen around and show you some examples I made, and hopefully it'll help you on your assignment that you're going to do right after this. Okay. The first form is our basic form called the standard form, and that's just how you would write the number normally. So I picked the number 13, and I would put my 1 first. That stands for our tens place here, represents a 10, and then 3 ones. So we would write 13 with a 1 and a 3. Our next form is word form. So I took 13 and I wrote it in words. And of course, the second grade teachers would never take off our spelling. So you would put that number in word form. So that is another way to write a number. This next one is my favorite because I love to draw. This is pictorial form, and I always remember that because it starts like picture, and so I always remember pictorial form like picture. So I have the number 13 again, and I know in first grade you guys did a lot of tens frames. So what I showed you here is a 10, okay? I put my dots in there, and then 3 on the next one. So you can combine these. I know 10's an easy number to work with, plus my 3, which equals 13. In second grade, we draw more like this. We draw a 10 with like a line or a stick. And then our ones, you can do small circles or small squares. And the reason for this is because when we work with our base 10 blocks, this represents a 10. Okay, there's 10 little squares all put together. And then when we start working with our base 10 blocks, these all represent ones. So very easy to draw. You can just draw a line for a 10, and you can draw dots or little small squares for ones. Our next form is going to be the expanded form. Okay, again, I have my 10s and I have my 1s. So if I were to expand that out, break it apart by place value, I would start with 10. Okay, that represents here, there's a 1 here, so that's a 10, plus 3. Okay, my 3 ones equals 13. Okay, so again, we have 4 forms that we just talked about. Standard, where you just write the number like you normally would. We have word form, where you write it in words. We have pictorial form, where you actually can draw the picture. And remember, you can use just lines for your ones and little small squares or dots for your, lines for your 10, sorry, and your little small squares or dots for your ones. And then I just wanted to show you something because it's so fun. My class last year was like, wow, when we get to bigger numbers, we will be using hundreds. We know 10s make 100. Okay, there's 10 of these here. So we will get to the hundreds, and then eventually, this is so exciting, we will get to the thousands. And this is what a thousands cube looks like, because that way 10 of these could fit in here. 10 100s make 1,000. We're going to stick to just numbers in the 10s, 20s, 30s, 40s, and so on. We probably will get to the hundreds pretty quickly, but we'll hold off on the thousands for a little bit. We just really want you to be familiar with just the different forms and different ways to show a number. So your job is going to be to take the number on the lessons. I'm going to challenge you. You have to write it in 2 different ways. So maybe write it standard and expanded, or picture and expanded. I'm going to challenge you, if you want to draw your paper into 4 squares, try all 4. If you only can do 2, that's fine. We're going to be practicing this all next week as well. So let me know if you have any questions. Maybe you're so comfortable with the number 15, have your parents give you a bigger number. Maybe 120, maybe 137. I would be so impressed. So challenge yourself. If it's too easy for you, challenge yourself. If it's too hard, just pick one or two, or at least two ways to show the number. All right, I can't wait to check in with you next week for another math lesson. Bye.